Welcome back. Once again, it's time. Yes, we're gonna take a break. What'd you bring to drink? Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments section. Welcome to our comics coffee table, where we take a break. We pull up a chair, grab a cup of whatever it is you're putting under your nose there today, Pally. Pre-recorded live in front of a studio audience of my stuffed animals. Hail the new king. He's pissed. He got dethroned. No, I'm kidding. How are you? Okay, let's check that again. Check. Pop. Yeah. You know, he sleeps in the job all the time. It's like my silent partner. Boy, oh. Welcome back at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern daily. We premiere this show. We're a daily comic book show. And it's about just taking a break, leaving the real world over there, pulling up a chair to our very own comics coffee table, and spending some time with your friends talking about comic books. The coffee table was always where my friends and I would congregate. See, last year we started this show with a coffee table book as well. The Golden Age of DC Comics, 365 Days, a hard-covered coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. And it's been surfing my coffee table literally ever since, and has always been a great source of comic book shop-style conversations, the kind that we have every Wednesday. Perhaps potentially every day in a comic book shop. Well, we don't have a comic book shop, but we have a comics coffee table instead. So the coffee table was where my friends would congregate. We would shoot the breeze. There would always be a stack of music, a stack of books, a stack of movies, and a stack of comic books as well that we were trying to get each other to read. Comics, funny books, you know, or trade paperbacks or graphic novels. But for me personally, I like comic books, floppies, periodicals, the serialized part of it. So yes, in that spirit of the coffee table, we meet here and we take our minds off our minds. And if you're here and lucky to be part of the 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern premiere, the live chat, well, you're going to be knee deep in a great conversation with some great people. Welcome. New people show up every day. There's room for everyone. And if you're watching the replay, sure, it's leave a comment in the comment section. We continue this comic book shop style conversation daily. Seriously. I'm very proud of us. We talk about comic books every day, don't we? We find something to talk about. There's always something to talk about with comic books, and it's a huge reason. Settle down, Hughes. It's a huge reason why I'm a lifelong fan. This is my hobby, and this is a hobby about my hobby, making content and sharing the love. And so this year we are reboarding, rebagging, and reboxing my entire collection. And on the coffee table, there would always be a stack of books we would try to turn each other on to. And this year, I was given these 2 books by my parents for Christmas last year. So, in that spirit, this year's dedicated to my parents. Thank you so very much. I love you. These are the Overstreet guides. These are huge. This has turned me on and tuned me in to a part of my hobby I was pretty ignorant about, for the better part of 5 decades. And we were always aware of it, but yeah, getting my head around this. It's been fun and informative and entertaining. And that's what we do here. We're learning a bit about comic books as we go along. It's if I'm also a chef, and I know this about my own trade, that I've never stopped being a student of my trade, and I love that. And that's what makes me like a professional and good at my job in a way too. I have that same attitude about being a comic books fan. I will always be a student. I'm always learning. Such as I didn't. It's so funny what you don't pick up on or what you're kind of ignorant to. But I didn't know that first issues were called Keys, Keys, and I picked up on that like last week. How long have I been reading comic books? So stuff like that. I'm just it's so weird, like what we don't know. But yeah, this stack of books. Every book you see here can be found. Their links can be found in the description, where you can get copies and play along at home. Even that book too, especially that book, The Golden Age of DC Comics, by Les Daniels, Chip Kidd, and Jeff Spear, 2004 Anchor Press, and How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Wow, this is a great way to express your love for the funny book. We are often, as comic book fans, I'd like to use this one a lot. This saying, we are on the outside of this magazine, this periodical, and we're on the outside of it, and we're looking in. We're looking inside of it. And this book is the insider's view, looking out, giving us literal perspective by defining it too, and giving us examples, and giving us the inside language and how these forms are made. This is a wonderful book. Yeah, if you can get that, get that. It's a good gift for any geek or any kid as well. Give the kid scrap paper and some pencils. Say, well, draw me some Spider-Man comics, kid. And it's funny that the Winter Soldier, Bucky James Buchanan Barnes, his nickname is Bucky, and this was Steve Rogers' friend in World War II, and his sidekick. It was actually Bucky was his story got fleshed out more and more over time. Well, check out Bucky's story, because we're still talking about Marvel Civil War a bit. We're going to wrap it up, but also I thought it would be a good excuse to talk just a little bit about the MCU, which I haven't done too much yet. We haven't. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I need boards. Good thing New Comic Book Day is tomorrow, and I can go and get more supplies. I need maybe 3 more long boxes. I know I need another pack of acid-free backing boards. Seriously. So yeah, that's almost $40 in supplies just right there. I'm good on bags this week. So that's going to be plus $39 right there onto my whatever my bill is this week, my weekly spend. And I want to spend that money at my local comic book shop. Here's, if you're new to the show, lots of new people out there tuning in for the first time. Love it. Thank you so much for showing up. Please like and subscribe. Hit that like button too. Biggest part of your YouTube day. Tune in anytime you want. Subscribe and turn on those notifications, and you'll know when the show's going on. but I'm using my advocacy, my activism, my agenda, my platforming. I am amplifying my voice, and also I'm an ordained minister, hence Reverend Sully. This is my evangelism in my pulpit, and I'm trying to get you to go back to your local comic book shop, your LCS. I don't think I spelled that right, but it's ASL. Don't be an a-hole, and I'm getting my supplies at my local comic book shop. I'm rebagging, reporting, reboxing my entire collection. I need supplies. Chances are that you do too. So instead of getting your supplies on the online supply chain that everyone uses, that I do too, it has the free shipping, the built-in movie network, and you can probably get a cut rate deal on stuff too. I mean, these Mylars aren't cheap, and I haven't found them yet either at the LCS. I could be getting them from this online supply chain, but no, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to spend that money at my local comic book shop. And why? I'm agreeing to pay up the retail markup. Yeah, I'm helping them move inventory. If they're a local business, help keep these local businesses alive and thriving with our patronage, please. Everything doesn't have to be a big box store or the online supply chain. I love going to my local comic book shop once a week now to get new releases, and I'm seeing familiar faces, and I'm having great conversations. This kind of conversation we have here, we have at the comic book shop once a week for me, and it's a nice place. This online bravado and standoffishness and white hats versus bad persons, it doesn't exist there really. I've never seen it in 5 decades of going to local comic books. Say in 4 decades, literally for me, 4 decades, I've been going to the LCS of Boston in the Boston area, and I have never witnessed the kind of ichor outrage and divisiveness that our conversations of pop culture have at the comic book shop. I've seen it get heated. I've been in some heated arguments. It's about body language. It's about eye contact. It's about being in arm's reach of someone too, perhaps. But also, I call it holy ground, Highlander, or holy ground, Batman. It's like it's some kind of like quasi holy place. It's a quasi church, where we congregate, and we're it's an ummah, a tribe, and I don't mean to be appropriating or no, I'm meaning to celebrate diverse cultures, terminologies by having better words than English, something a bit more fitting, the sangha, as the Buddhists call it, the group, the spiritual community, the village, So we've carved out our very own clique in our village, and thank you so much for coming to our coffee table. Sláinte, skål, cheers. Let's beg and board and talk about them funny books. Yep, here we go. Board, little box. I use an upside down lid from another box. There's always like a few boxes in play. So, and this is a good way to hold and transport comic books and stuff and my supplies. So I've got bags, polypropylene bags. And the boards are in here somewhere. No, that's not it. I'll find them in a second. Oh, they were in here. We only have literally 3 boards left. And I should have got them last week. They were on the list. I guess I was already spending $40 last week. But still, like I said, it's better to be spending our money at the local comic book shop and keeping them open. Sully style is old bag, 1 bag, One bag to hold them all. I'll pop it in the head of my sort, and I'll throw it out when I get to it later. Oh, wow. A random issue of some Bendis. This is the mostly Marvel. No, this was not. Mostly Marvel. Oh, boy. Next wave. Agent. I love this. See that sense of humor. I wear underpants. Fing Fang Foom is a giant dragon person. Oh, come on. So, it's burning my hand. It hurts. Alrighty, so we are begging and boarding and talking about Marvel Civil War. And, use these to be economical. We're going to make a call and say 1, 2, and it ends with Captain America 25. This was a legendary comic book that people waited for around the corner and through the woods and shit. This coming to an end. What happens was that Peter Parker, Spider-Man, finds out about. We were talking about this yesterday. The Punisher finds him, Spider-Man, and brings him to. And the Resistance now has Frank Castle on their side, and Spider-Man. But Spider-Man found out that what Tony and Reed Richards were doing, they have a prison in the negative zone that they're keeping people, like an interdimensional Guantanamo Bay. You know, it's not on U.S. soil, so they have these people that they have no rights, and something like, or the right to due process, you know, and it's that's where like I said, Mark Miller was going there. He went there. He found a place to sock it to us with allegory, and these are heroes doing this. And is this allegory about conservative minds versus progressive and liberal minds? I don't know. I don't think it's that's about interpretation, and that's when we see into things. And Spider-Man puts on his original costume. And because not only does Tony have a shitload of tracking devices in the Iron Spider costume, those are Tony's colors, and he's just going back to being just like, you know, his own good guy. The anti-penultimate issue. And I hope that you're having an awesome day. I hope that you are clobbering your problems and not being clobbered by them. We have Wolverine number 47 that we're just going to double up with this one. Double up, double up, It's a Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby's got back. Here we are. Bagging, rebagging, reboarding, reboxing. The promise is kept. I've done all three things I've intended to do with this. Now we have a random issue of Iron Man. Of course, Patrick Zurcher art. And you know me, I like to look at floppies. I like to look at ads. I think ads are the most underrated thing in a periodical. We have dings. What's a ding? A ding is any visible imperfection we can see that takes away from the 10-point scale of the grading aspect. You know, that number that's on top of your slab. The hard plastic case you sent away for. Let's see. Let's look at this indicia colophone. And like I say, I like the Marvel info dump page. Previously in Civil War, we've got 2 writers, Daniel and Charles Knopf. Pencils by Patrick Zurcher. Inks by Scott Hanna. Scott Hanna is like this huge career-long Marvel bullpen inker. He's Scott Hanna has done a lot of Marvel work. He's actually inking John Romita Jr. right now on the current Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells. That's getting so much headspace and airtime. So many angry people, close to me too, in the fellowships, and I'm like, but this could be the nadir of Act 2 for all we know. It's supposed to be Peter at his lowest to get him to that Act 3 resolution. You know what I mean? What do we know? I mean, apparently Zeb Wells has another year left to write on Spider-Man out of 3 years. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. I see. I would advise me, wait till it's over and then be like, oh wow, he might have a surprise for us. The Indicia Colophone says December 2016. This is Iron Man number 13. Notice it doesn't say which volume number. Do they even do that anymore? They just keep throwing issues number 1 at you. And I don't know why I got this. But it's a beautiful page. Look at that. See, that's what, I learned that from Marvel, from How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I know that follow through right there where Tony's hand is, that's one of the strongest positions we can have for a 2D flat illustration showing kinetic motion and its result. Boom, right there. See, best, not bad. The weakest is at the the straightest posture and the most potential energy. But that best position is the follow through and showing the result of the action and showing it and your eye coming into it. It's like I love learning more and more about the art behind the art in our comic books. That's there's so much art appreciation that goes on subconsciously that we're not even aware of. Just to look at a comic book panel, we can see what's good. We know a displeasing image when we see it. Like I say, let's look at the ads. Seriously, what the hell is this? Hyperscan video game system. What? Collectible cards meet video games. I've never even heard of a deck like this. You know what I mean? And definitely F's in the chat for that one. Oh, waka waka. We've got, this is a 2006, so this is 6 years before Disney buy Star Wars, and also Disney. When did Disney buy Marvel? I think it was 2010. When did Disney buy Marvel? 2009. So yeah, this so far is not a Disney product, and this isn't. Neither is this. But look at that. We've got these are great mashups. This is a Transformer that turns into the Millennium Falcon. Isn't that cool? And it's got 2 modes, right? It's got a Chewie and a Han mode. That's pretty fun. You got an M&M's ad in here. So advertisements are a great window on who is this book being marketed to. This is who are we making this book for? Well, the hint is in the advertisements. If you're ever thinking who asked for this, Well, look at the ads. And that is the biggest hint. That's that, seriously. Rocky action figures. Yeah. This is, for what do I feel? For the young to young person or the adult fan that of a nostalgic age that has, who the hell else would want Rocky action figures? Hello? Are you fucking my sister, Rock? Hey, Paulie. No. Aw. Yeah, I mean, you see there's a lot of talking in comic books with today. That's, an old thing. Look, there's no action on any page. On any panel. Like, this is all just expository. Look, there's like 4 pages of just talking. All right, and this is a 2006. 7 pages of people talking. Oh, okay. We're gonna. When was the last action scene? Okay, that's an ad, so that's not even. And look, okay, that's 8 pages now of, just like there's a result of something. We see a dead body, but how much? There's no Iron Man action, and we only got 12 to 14 more pages of story. I have no clue why I got this or why that's in here, but I just know it was in the sort, and it was filed. It was filed chronologically, or is that holographically? That we can just. Here we have this one shot that we just came in. I think this came in late. It's a $3.99, and I think it's just like them. Is it Cap and? Let's see. Cap and Tony trying to talk it out one last time before everything goes to poops. Casualties of War #1, February of 2007. Now blood has been spilled, and it goes back. Like when they first met, and they're having they meet up to talk one last time. Of course, they end up getting into a beef and walking away from each other. And this comes back. In a way, full circle. To this. About a decade later, in 2016, comes Captain America 3, Civil War. Yeah. And you might know that better than these comic books. Like I said, I wanted to talk for a minute about the MCU. And so yeah, these are my MCU movies. I just got this. Yeah, I've never seen the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies, and I just got this. Okay, because I saw a No Way Home with the Fellowship. We had dinner and a movie and hanging out together. We have mini meetups here in Boston. If you're in the Boston area and you want a chance on meeting some of these people that you might see in the live chats, and we hang out occasionally, a few times a year, and go to the conventions too. Fan Expo Boston's coming up in August, but we all saw No Way Home together, and that was my first Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, and I hadn't seen Homecoming and I hadn't seen Far From Home. And I just watched them last week. That was really fun. But the Avengers movies that I all saw at the movie theater, I mean, the MCU movies, were the Iron Men, the Captain Americas, and the Avengers movies. Especially the Avengers movies. Oh, those were just spectacle. That was just great. I remember seeing Avengers at midnight on opening night. And I felt bad because I had worked all day and I was kind of falling asleep in my chair. But I watch these like once a year in order, and like there's an order, a viewing order, and so now I have this one too to put in there as well. So these are my MCU movies, the only MCU movies I have. Yeah, so we have 13 movies here, and like I didn't like Ant-Man or I didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I shut it off like 10 minutes in during the prison break scene. I was like, this is like some kind of weird Earthsat superhero remake of Boogie Nights. And people kind of like that description because it's kind of fitting. But yeah, so Iron Man, so Captain America 3, Civil War, takes like notes from this story. And it introduces Peter Parker, a 15-year-old sophomore in high school at Midtown High in Queens, New York. 15-year-old teenage superhero Peter Parker, who's just been coming into his own, he got on Tony's radar, gets drafted into the skirmish against Cap and his team of the Avengers. And then from there starts the Spider-Man cycle in the MCU. The MCU, we have to... One thing that I noticed, of course, I'm a lifelong Spider-Man fan. So everyone in Peter's life, high school life, has been race swapped. I was going to say it. I'm not saying it in a derisive way either. This is the needs of modernity. Actually, might even reflect a modern 21st century, like Astoria, or it's Forest Hills, Queens. Yeah, I know. But that would reflect, that's what you can't say. That's not Liz Allen. I mean, Liz Allen wasn't Vulture's daughter. But that's all adaptation and compression. The MCU is like really, it's been different from the get-go. From Iron Man 1 in 2008, the ending when he says, "I am Iron Man." I mean, he lied to Steve Rogers and his Avengers team for years. Nobody knew that Tony Stark was Iron Man. There was a time when his friend Rhodey, Colonel James Rhodes of the United States Air Force, was Iron Man, and you plenty of times saw Tony Stark with Iron Man, and there was a chunk of time where Rhodey was legitimately Iron Man, filling in for Tony, who was coming back from his alcoholism. Yeah, but yeah, that was a divergence from the get-go. From day one, there's a divergence. Jarvis, hello, the voice of Paul Bettany. Jarvis, who eventually becomes Vision. Jarvis is a human butler of Avengers Mansion. Kind of like the Alfred to Batman's Bruce Wayne. You have Jarvis to Tony Stark in Avengers Mansion. Jarvis is a person. That's another divergence right from the get-go. These are like the ones that we don't hear the hullabaloo about. We always hear about, oh, they're changing this and changing that. Things have been being tweaked and changed in MCU since the first movies. And but something, so I'm saying that the race swappings of Peter's schoolmates isn't that bothersome for me. No, I mean Ned Leeds. These are not the comic book characters. These are the MCU characters. That's not even Mary Jane Watson. That's Michelle. They're both an MJ and play that role in Peter's life, but I mean, yeah, look at Flash Thompson. I mean, but that's still Flash's character. I found movie Flash to be really endearing. I really like, that was a great dynamic, and I really enjoyed these Spider-Man movies. Yeah, And looking forward to checking out the Andrew Garfield ones, too. We've been going... It's time to wrap the show up. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. Tomorrow, we're going over the menu of our new releases to see what we'll be talking about next Sunday. But, yeah, we're going... Like every Wednesday, we go to the comic book shop together. And... we'll see you there. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make daily content here, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Daily. Did I say daily? He said daily, too. And join us in the live chat. Join the conversation. Contribute to the comment section and keep the conversation going. We talk comic books every day. All right. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.